Yo, what's going on, guys? Grab yourself a beer, sit on the curb. Gotta talk about this. All right, man. So it's late. I've been thinking about what's been taken off in 2025 in the motovlog scene, and I had a few options or a few ideas or a few thoughts about the ones that I've been seeing lately, but I've really kind of like started searching YouTube and really started seeing the trending different types of content and examples of what's coming up and what's becoming hot in 2025. So I want to give you a couple of them, probably like 8 of them. Some of them you probably already know, some of them you probably never really thought about because your timeline really just feeds what you're constantly looking at, but it's really important, so let's talk about it. The number one thing that I see that is really trending, and some people have talked about it, and is road rage content. Like basically like near misses. Like people are putting together a lot of compilations of different road rage incidents or accidents that have happened with motorcyclists. And I think the reason why it's being so big so far is simply because they make for great shorts. It's like adrenaline filled content, and people love danger. You know what I mean? People love to see near misses. People love to see dangerous things happen or that could happen to motorcyclists, and see them narrowly escape it or not escape it. Usually you don't see too much of the non-escapes, like the actual like fatal accidents, because YouTube obviously is not going to allow that type of content, but it's very big, and it's something that people are probably sleeping on. So if you're a person that doesn't necessarily ride motorcycles, but you want to make motorcycle content, that's probably a really good genre or a good niche to jump on. Number 2, the budget gear, the motovlog setups. I've done a couple in the past. People are constantly doing it. You have a really well-known guy. I think his name is like Jay somethingowski or something like that. He's off in like Australia or something like that, or New Zealand, or one of those. He's off somewhere, but he does a really cool cinematic style videos with like your basic, your basic DJI, your basic, your 360 cams, stuff like that. It kind of shows you how you can really get some really cool footage that is like cinematic style with that kind of gear. Again, it's gear breakdowns and gear setups have not been, it's nothing new in 2025. People have always done it, but since we constantly have new gear, new camera set, new cameras, new drones and things of that nature come out on a yearly basis, it's going to be one of those things that's always trending. Number 3, the new phase: electric motorcycles, electric ADV bikes, things of that nature in the motovlog scene. Like, it's starting to really take off. For example, Chase on 2 Wheels just did an actual ride on the new Can-Am Origin. Really dope video, and it shed some light on the advantages and the disadvantages of early adoption on these new electric motorcycles. I think they're kind of amazing, but I think they leave a lot to be desired in terms of range and power capabilities. So that's one of the things that people are jumping on. If you're an early adopter, you're definitely going to get some views. He also did another one on the hybrid Kawasaki. Really cool, very strange and interesting. But again, as these things become more normalized, as more releases start to become more mainstream, more and more people are going to be jumping on these bikes. So if you're a new motovlogger and you're looking to find and carve out a niche that is fairly new, where a lot of people haven't jumped on it yet, electric motorcycles is going to be your thing. I mean, whoever jumped on the Surons and the electric e-bikes have taken off tremendously because people were very skeptical about those platforms, and now those platforms have become more and more popular as time goes on. So if you're new in the rider space, definitely jump on that. If you're looking to make fresh content that nobody's really touched yet, it's pretty much virgin ground right now. Number 4. 2025 is the year of female riders. Hands down, if you are a female rider, right, you should be taking every advantage that you can out of Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Again, female riders has not been a new thing in the last like 5 years or whatnot, but 2025 has definitely been a year that has accentuated the female riders because, excuse me, I think people are getting, I won't say people are getting necessarily tired of a male dominant genre on the YouTube space specifically, or even in the Instagram and TikTok. You do have some females like Blondie, or what is it? I don't even know what her name is, my bad. Blondie Motovlogs or something like that. She does a lot of stunts and stuff like that. She doesn't just ride, but you have other YouTubers that are coming up, like Jules, Amy, what's that girl's name? I can't think of her name, but what I'm saying is that Moto Martini, you know, you got chicks that are coming up in the game, and I think the reason why they're getting so much popularity is simply because, well, I'm not gonna say simply because they're being kind of introduced more and more by the male figures, such as the Fastlane Ds. They're being featured a lot in these guys' motovlogs, and so people are really starting to take notice, and they're really kind of just shifting their attention more to the females because they give a different style of video, they give a different perspective of speed and stunts and etc. So I think it's just people getting a little bored of what they're typically used to seeing from the male dominant side, and they're being more open to the females that are coming up that, like I said, kind of give a fresh new take on the scene. So if you're a female, definitely jump on board right away. Number 5, I would have to say the adventure bikes have really taken off. People that are off-road centered, not necessarily associated with like stunters and all that good stuff. Like, these people are dedicated off-roadists, adventurists, people that spend a lot of time off-road camping and just showing the ability of bikes and how they can tackle terrain, different types of terrain and different types of weather. It's becoming a new thing as far as like entertainment wise, because people are starting to see that there's more to bikes than just riding on a highway, riding on a track, and you know, the typical super sport ecosystem where everybody just looks at that. Adventure bikes are really, really cool. They offer a fresh new perspective, like I said, on motorcycling period, and it appeals more to like hobbyists and people that like to live or do things off-road. So if you're a person that has Jeeps and you're out there doing raw wall rocks, rock climbing, and all these different things that they do, those are the same people that are actually probably camping and doing outdoorsy stuff. So having a bike in that niche is paramount. So check out for that. Look out for that. Obviously, the next one, number 6. It's going to be your stunters, your freestylers, the Gixxer Bros, the Brian 636s, the guys that actually definitely separate themselves for the most part from, who separate themselves from the go fast guys who are typically who you see when you type in Superbikes or super sports. Completely different. These guys focus on stunts. They focus on freestyle riding. They focus on, their own craft in terms of how they do these stunts. Wheelies, the controlled low speed wheelies. I don't even know what they call a lot of these stunts because they be doing some crazy shit. But I think it's very, very entertaining. And what I like most about it is they're usually doing it in like empty lots. A lot of the bigger guys are always hyper focusing on things like clutch control, speed control, rear brake control, and It's really, really cool. But like I said, it's a completely different genre than people that are just trying to go fast. So I would say being a stunter in 2025 can really separate yourself from the rest of the motovloggers, because there's not very many, in my opinion, who are doing it. And then the people who are doing it has already captured the big attention span of most of the other genres of motorcyclists. So I think breaking into that stunting field is, if that's something that you want to do, I think you should definitely do it in 2025. It also makes for great shorts for people with short attention spans. This is why they created shorts to begin with. People have short attention spans. So seeing stunts and wheelies and things like that, that's a big reason why stuff like on Instagram and TikTok has taken off so much. It's because people love to see you pop wheelies. People love to see people stunting. It's exciting and dangerous at the same time. So let's see. The other thing that I would say is going to take off this year, which has been around forever, but nobody's really paid attention to it, is basically your track day guys, your performance testing guys. Again, we see these videos come out all the time with new releases of bikes, usually from like the bigger companies like motorcycle.com, for example. The professionals who like put the bikes on the tracks, these super sport bikes on the track, and they kind of break them down how they behave in a track setting. But more and more YouTubers that I'm seeing, motovloggers, amateur motovloggers, are starting to put their bikes out on the track, and it's creating a very interesting like mini niche, where you're having a lot of the bigger YouTubers who are trying to break into the scene to not only show that you can go fast on the street, but they're trying to promote more safety. So they're trying to get people and encourage people to go to the track. The biggest person I can say right now who has absolutely shredded the street with high-speed runs and particularly canyon riding are going to be people like Max Wrist, who has absolutely dominated that scene and is now taking it to the track, and he's actually doing really, really well. He's winning trophies, and it's cool to see because he's single-handedly, he has taken his standard like the standard go fast boys who really, really, focus on street riding and things of that nature, like canyon riding. He's taken them and he's slowly transitioning and grabbing the attention of other people who do the same thing to the track. So I think 2025 is going to be a big year for people who take their bikes to the track. We already see it with like other influencers like the Fast Lane D's, Taken. You have IMK who goes there occasionally. Adobo Moto goes to the track a ton. He needs to show more of that, because I think that people have a misconception of not just him, but other people who go to the track. They don't really see it as a viable option. Some people think it's too expensive, et cetera, but they're normalizing it in the regular space. And I think mostly people are going to end up doing that because they want to avoid the cops. They want to avoid being demonetized. They want to avoid being, taken to jail for the most part for going 180 miles on a freeway. You know what I mean? Whereas you can try to do that on a track and actually show your skill and not put other people at danger per se, just mainly yourself. And then the other big genre or big niche that I'm seeing, number 8 is going to be your budget builders, your project bikes, your restorations. These are going to be your rebuilders. Biggest one in the game that I can think of right now off the top of my head that I follow is CJ Media. CJ Media is absolutely amazing with the stuff that he does. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how you can buy a bike that looks like it's bound for the dumpster. You rebuild it and you restore it to make it look like it's completely new. It's absolutely amazing. So you do have a rising number of people that are, I know there's other YouTubers that I've watched that I can't think of their names right off the top of my head, but like I said, CJ is probably the biggest one that I can think of. But these are, like I said, people that are going out, finding garage finds, finding auction bikes that have either been like severely wrecked or, for the most part, you know, minimally wrecked. Probably things that you and I would see and be like, there's no way you can rebuild that, or I wouldn't even try, I'd just go get a new bike. It's really showing people that you can take trash builds or totaled bikes, and that if you're smart about what you're doing, whether you're just reselling or even for yourself or keeping for yourself, how you can actually rebuild a bike that's safe and can be retitled and can be used on the road for any purposes, and you don't have to do it by going out and spending money on a completely brand new bike. So, like I said, if you are one of these people who are looking to break into a niche on the motovlog scene, you know, you can do it. I would say there might be one more. I'm going to say number 10 or I'm going to say number 9. I'm going to say number 9. This last genre is probably the most common that you're going to see. And I kind of put myself into this category as well, because I kind of do a little bit of everything. Not everything that I mentioned. I don't do the track days. You know, most people don't do track days. Most people don't rebuild, and you know, some people aren't adventure bike people. Not everybody's a female. Not everybody rides electric bikes. But the number 9 thing that you're gonna see, that's the most common, is you're gonna see people like myself who are just motovloggers. People who just want to go out and kind of just unscripted, just show what they do. Some people just do like raw sound videos. They don't really talk. They kind of do a conglomerate of many different things. Like for myself, I do motovlogs, or in my motovlogs, I do like gear reviews. I cover some budget things. I am truly just doing what I want to do. And I think that is probably the most appealing, because that is the thing that gets most people who probably don't ride yet the most encouragement to ride. Like, for example, Fastlane D. You know, Fastlane D does a lot of everything, but he doesn't just pigeonhole himself into one thing. Like, I've never seen Dylan or Fastlane D with a bike that's stretched and like lowered, and it's a roll racing bike. I've never seen that before. He has a lot of different bikes though. But even in the motovlogging scene, you're gonna have other types of people who I can probably go off and name like 10, 11, 12, but you have dedicated roll racing people. So you can check out channels like Dude Mungus, who specializes in trying to build his bike to be the best daily rider, but the most efficient and fastest roll racing bike as he can make, right? And then you got, you got, like I said, you got guys like that who are in the roll racing scene. You got people that you can check out like on Instagram, Street Cartel, who are building their bikes because they focus on the roll racing, right? It's a whole nother subculture in the motovlog scene that is absolutely insane. Then you have the guys that build their bikes to be the fastest as possible in a drag racing scenario. So you have guys like the biggest ones that you may know, like More Mafia, who build their bikes specifically for the track. Like, no holds bar. You get rid of everything that you don't need as far as weight goes. You're trying to go the fastest in a straight line as possible on a drag strip. So that's a completely other genre that's set next to the side to like roll racing. You know what I mean? It's completely different. So like I said, you have different subgenres within the niche of motovlogging. And that's why on my last video, when I was talking about Adobo Moto, that was why I was saying that this space of motovlogging has enough room for everybody to be successful. There's different areas that you can fit in, or that your style of riding fits in. Not everybody is the last one that I would say is, which I was kind of saying about myself now that I'm thinking about it, it's a better term to put it under, a better subgenre, is you have content creators. I'm focused on being a content creator. That's to me what I think Fastlane D is, in my opinion, like Fastlane D, IMK. I feel like that is the genre that most people fit in when they first come in, because they may not know exactly what they want to do, but they focus on being a content creator. And then I think, like, for me, most people, like for me, when I look at Dude Mungus is, I feel like when he started out, he was mainly a content creator, dabbling in different things. And then I think now more so within like the last 2 years, I feel like he's focused more on the roll racing niche of motovlogging. I noticed that when I was just kind of watching his videos, and I'm just like, man, he doesn't really do a lot of the like content creator stuff anymore like he used to do. And it's really cool because it's just cool to see people grow and see where people end up. But you know what I mean? The most common one that you're going to see is content creators trying to break in, or they're already in it and they kind of stay in it, or they're trying to figure out which direction they want to go. You know what I mean? You have people that are just focused on, you know, maybe like brand deals and reviews of motorcycle safety equipment or parts, etc. There's room for everybody. You just got to figure out what you want to do and what you like to do. But everybody can be successful. Anyways, tired of rambling. That's all I got. Catch you in the next one. Peace.